Hey, how's it going, YouTube? It's TAG97 again. I hope all of you are doing very well today. We're going over the Glock 43X 9mm. And if you're not aware, I do have an Instagram disco. Down to the descriptions down below. Go to links and go to the link that goes straight to my IG. Once you hit that link, hit that follow button as well. And you get anything that's exclusively happening on Instagram that you never get to see on the YouTube channel. And once you do that, you can message me directly or ask me any questions that you don't ask me on the YouTube channel. I also want to thank my viewers, subscribers, and of course my Patreon donors. I love and appreciate you guys so much, you have no idea. I just love the support you guys keep doing for this channel, making it come alive more and more every time. So I really can't thank you enough. And I want to thank the lender for today's video, which is my wife. She lended the firearm for today, and let's get started. Okay, so let's get into the educational part of this video, or better known as the specifications. Now, when you buy a Glock, most of the time, new of course, that you will get a case like this. If you buy it used, you may get one, you may not. Depends on if the previous owner kept it or not. So I'm going to open this case up real quick. I will say that Glock normally gives you a brush, a safety lock to store away, and a rod to make sure your firearm is clean when you take that brush in there. So let's talk about probably the most important part about this firearm, because it's really compact. It's the size. So the overall length of this firearm is 6.5 inches overall length, and that barrel length is going to be leaving you at 3.41 inches. So it's the ideal carry that Glock kept in mind and the design, because of how slim that is, as well, as you can tell. One of their very thin models that they have, and it's very compact and short. And I would highly recommend this for the size alone of concealed carry. Okay, so let's go over the magazines that this firearm comes with, the ammo I used in this video, and what is the best grain to use with most 9mm. Because I'm talking about that, I'm going to put this firearm to the side, and yes, of course, it's clear, so I'm just going to put that over there. So you get two 10+1 magazines. It's not like the older gens like Gen 4, Gen 3 and stuff, that where you get 3 magazines. Unfortunately, for most Gen 5s, from what I know personally, that you only get 2 magazines from now on, which is kind of whatever, but you can go ahead and buy another one. And because this is a 10 rounder, I believe this is available in California. Don't take my word on it, but it should be. So you get 2 of these, like I said. And the ammunition that we used for today's video was from Winchester, and I'll show you a picture real quick. So they're 124 grain full metal jackets, highly recommended by me. Definitely good and accurate for sure, and 0 to none malfunctions, as in failing to fire, failing to feed, or anything else in that category. Now, the best grain to use with most 9mm, from my personal experience and preference to you, is 115 grain through 147 grain. Either hollow points, full metal jacket, doesn't matter. Those are the most recommended grain for most of the standard twist rates on most barrels. Okay, so now I'm going to go over my favorite part of the video, the trigger poundage test. Now, this test is to indicate how heavy that trigger is, and most of the time Glocks are always roughly the same anyway. Now, they did a slight different trigger job on the Gen 5s. It's not really that big of a difference, but you'll feel it if you ever shoot. It's more of a very defined reset trigger. That's all it feels like. Other than that, basically the same. So I'm going to show you that this is zeroed, obviously, so there's no trickery going on, and I'm going to test it out right now as I slowly pull on it to ensure that I'm getting an estimate that is correct. Ooh, I got exactly 6 that time. Now, on average, most Glock triggers are between 5.5 and all the way up to 7 roughly sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. So I'm going to try one more time to make sure that it was a correct estimation, and I did this before the video as well, just to make sure that this would work. Okay, so that time I actually got like a little bit over 6.5, so that one's closer to 7. So as you can see, it's a rough estimation. It's not exact 100%, but it gives you a rough estimation with this trigger poundage test tool. Okay, so let's talk about the weight. Because this is a compact Glock, you're probably wondering, is it light? Yes, you are correct. This is just slightly over a pound. The exact number is 1.02 pounds, and in ounces, it is 16.4 ounces. So it's extremely light, and that's, of course, without anything in the magazine or anything inside the chamber. Very light, compact, and the ideal of concealed carry. Obviously, it depends on what kind of grain you're carrying inside your firearm, hollow points, full metal jacket, It depends on how many rounds you're also holding as well. If you get a mag extender or anything else in that realm, that'll add more weight to it, accessories, and you know what I mean. So if you do anything else to this firearm, of course it's going to add weight, but right out of the box, this is extremely light. It has barely any weight on it whatsoever. Now, for everyone's least favorite subject, the MSRP of this firearm, or the retail price. Now, Glock recommends that this be sold for $529 plus tax, obviously. But I do know some places sell this for $499. So you may get a good deal, you may not. If you go to mom and pop shops, they may sell for a little bit more or a little bit less. It always depends on location. And I cannot stress that enough. Location, location, location is how you find good deals or not. But because of what's going on today with the pandemic, I'm finding out that it's very hard to get your hands on one of these for some reason. They seem to be very sold out, and even Glock doesn't have any in store whatsoever from what I can find. So as of right now, if someone is selling this, they're probably going to overcharge you. So I'd probably wait to get one of these. If not, it's an emergency and you need a firearm now in your house. You do what you got to do, bite the bullet, pay that money, but at least you have a firearm and you're not in a situation where you don't have one and you wish you could have. Alrighty, because I am done talking about the specifications about this firearm, let's get into how I personally feel about it, or the overall feeling. Now keep in mind, with every firearm, regardless if I love it or not, there's always negative parts about it and there's always positive. And also keep in mind that these are my own personal preferences. Doesn't mean the firearm is excellent, doesn't mean it's bad either. It's just how I personally feel about it, and they're my own opinions, and you can have your own, of course. So, and I always respect your guys' opinion and input into any firearm. So let's get started into the negative I want to get out of the way, since I don't like negativity. Number one, I do not like the capacity. Now, I'm probably saying TAG97, it's supposed to be compact. It's not supposed to have a lot of rounds like how you're used to. Yes, I understand 100%, I really do. But I think it could have maybe hold maybe 12 rounds. That'd be cool. Or maybe even an oddball number like 11 and gave me 12 rounds when I put one in the chamber. That'd been really something interesting. Other than that, that's really about it. And the Gen 5 slide cuts, I'm not a big fan either. Yes, I do understand why they did it, because it gives you an easier grip in the front to see if you have a round inside the chamber, or just to rack it that way, or overhead instead from the side. It makes sense. I just don't like it. It's not pretty. I don't know if it's because I'm used to the Gen 3s and the Gen 4s, but the Gen 5 cut I'm not the biggest fan of. Cool design though, and I understand the feature. I really like it. I just don't like the way that looks. Okay, so let's go over why I actually love this firearm. And yes, it's not just because I'm a Glock fanboy. It's not that reason. But yes, I do love Glock, and I do favor Glock. Now, of course, I do my honest reviews as always. I'm never going to lie about my reviews and honesty about that. So let's get straight into it. Number one, yes, it's a Glock. Glock is very reliable, highly recommended by me, of course, so that's out of the way. I really like the new finish that they're starting to do with these Glocks. It's something different. It's refreshing. I really love this beaver tail. It's very confident, especially if you have a bigger hand. It lets you know that you're not going to get slide by, even though I've never got one from a Glock anyway. I like that the mag release is interchangeable, so if you're lefty or you like to play ambidextrous and change things up with your hands and how you shoot, that's fine, whatever. But the fact that it has ambidextrous capability of switching that mag release on the other side is really cool and fancy. They have a really slim profile on this, so that's really cool. Small, compact, like I said. I carried this a few times. Like I said, this is my wife's gun, and I bought it for her. But I carried this a few times, and I barely know it's there sometimes. I'll walk around just in gym shorts, and it feels very comfortable, very unnoticeable as well. For how short it is, also, it's very accurate, and it definitely does not really have any cycling issues whatsoever. I've shot hollow points, I've shot full metal jackets, and it cycles, and I think there's about roughly maybe close to 700 to 800 rounds through this firearm already, and we barely even own it that long. So I think for sure that this is very reliable in the long time run, as the firearm will continue to work and work and work. And I hope so, because like I said, this is my wife's concealed carry, so I would hope that this would work overall and not fail her in a real world situation. Okay, so now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the video, the shooting compilation. If you did skip to this part, I always recommend you go back to learn the specifications, or you do you, and I can never stop you, but go ahead and hit that like button, of course, subscribe, because that's always highly appreciated. I love you guys so much, and I really love getting those notifications as well, saying that a new subscriber just got subscribed to the channel, and I welcome you to the TAG97 family with open arms, and I love and appreciate you guys so much, you have no idea. So, enough of that being said, let's get into what you've really been waiting for, and I really hope you enjoy this video. So as you see, the Glock 43X is definitely reliable, for sure, accurate and very compact, and gets the job done for what you need. And hopefully you never have to use it in a real world scenario for concealed carry, you know what I mean. Anyway, besides that, I want to show you a picture real quick. So at 7 yards, 3 rounds to the best of my ability, and 3 rounds at 25 yards to the best of my ability. Now, if you're wondering, if you've seen videos in the past that were mine saying, why don't you take 5 anymore at the 7 yard? Because of how high ammo has gone, it is now $30 roughly for a box of 9mm, and every video I do at least a minimum of 100 rounds, so just do the math on how much money I'm actually spending, and that's why that Patreon is really important for you guys to help me, because times are getting really tough, and it's getting very stressful to do these videos. But because I love you guys so much, and I'm always here, and I'm doing my best to give you a video every week, it would be highly appreciated for sure, trust me. Other than that, this is 100% TAG97 approved. I love this, and I trust my life with it, and I trust this firearm to protect my wife in a scenario where she has to use it. So Glock, thank you yet again for making a very reliable firearm, and hands down, it looks cool and sexy for sure. If you did like this video, make sure you hit that like button, and of course subscribe, and I welcome you to the TAG97 family. I love you all, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next time, and thank you so much for watching.